We are headed on a 22-hour road trip from Minnesota out to Rhode Island for a camping trip with my husband's side of the family. So we need some activities to take on the road with us. Hi, I'm Emma. I'm a mom of identical twin boys who are currently 2.5 years old. Today I want to share with you a handful of activities that you can use on long car rides. Our plan is to drive through the night, so hopefully a lot of the time our boys will be sleeping on this drive, but there will be many hours that they are awake. And I want to pack some intentional things to bring along so that they have things to entertain them as we go on this long journey in our car. The first up is some sort of lacing activity. So I will put a link to some of these bags. This is going to be how I'm going to store them. I'm going to kind of run through all the activities, and then I will kind of show you how I'm going to pack it up for our travel. This I bought on Amazon. I will put a link to everything that I talk about in this video down below, and it's a wooden fruit. This one's watermelon. We also have an apple and this little worm lacer that goes through to lace. It'd be one definitely to keep an eye on your child as they're using it, just because of the string. It will be one that you'll have to like undo for them, and then they can continue to repeat it. So lacing, another option for lacing are these shape lacing, and this would be kind of a little bit more challenging. So just a string attached. We will be bringing both of these along with us. This was something new that I got, and they're these little magnetic guys. So both the hands and the feet are magnetic, and you can just kind of play with them in all sorts of different ways. It's kind of fun little bendy people. Little magnetic people. One idea I found was to offer spools of ribbon to have them unroll, and then you can roll them back up for them and they can roll it all back up. So spools of ribbon, kind of a simple thing to pack. There is a way to offer painting on a car ride with water wow books. You have this little brush, paint brush that you fill with water, and then they brush on the picture, and then it reveals the picture underneath. So this is kind of a fun way to offer painting without any mess in the car. I bought these Wikki Stix, which are sticky string. They just peel off. You can just make different shapes with them, twist them in all sorts of little ways. I'll probably just keep these in this little tube and bring these along with us. The boys got a Yoto Player for Christmas, and so it's a small little player where you can play different like books and stories from little cards. My mom and dad lent me a second one so that the boys could each have one as we are driving on our trip, and they just have these little cards. This one's Mary Poppins. So you just pop it in.
Every third Thursday, said Mrs. Banks, 2 till 5.
So it just plays whatever card, whatever story you have. There's an app that goes along with it, but what I love is that my kids can kind of be independent in choosing what they're listening to. There's no real like screen involved in it. They can turn it up and down. It also has a port for headphones, and so I do have a set. I have 2 pairs of headphones for them. Again, I'll put some links down to these below, just to keep the car quiet, or for them if they're listening to different things. So I'm sure the Yoto Player will be used a lot on the drive. Another gift that my boys had got, but that's been great in the car, is this little take-along storyteller. So it has all sorts of Bible stories and then little Bible songs.
Loves me, this I know, for the...
So you can pause, play it, listen to stories. There's little books that go along with it. We may or may not bring the books with, but this has been just a really fun, easy thing for them to have to use. These will be kind of fun for the car. They're called Frogly. They're little like suction toys. You can kind of just like stick them to themselves and make all sorts of designs. I'm thinking about bringing some cookie sheets, or just 2, 1 for each of them, just to give the boys almost like a little table while we're driving, so they could do some coloring on. They could stick these onto it to play with. So I'll probably just put together a little bag of these Frogly suction cup toys and be able to kind of make things for them, or I can make it for them and they can just pull them apart. They're kind of fun to build with. So we'll be bringing some of these along for our drive. Instead of crayons that break, I got some Twistable crayons. So I just put together little kits. I had these cases from those little magnetic people came in here. So I'll take the labels off. Bring some coloring books, and we'll bring maybe some notebooks for them to each have a notebook to just draw and color in. I'm going to bring some pipe cleaners. So I'm going to bring pipe cleaners just to play with as is. I'm going to bring some little beads that they could, not like too small, but some wooden beads that they could string onto the pipe cleaners. And this is why having like a little tray would be really helpful for them each to do this activity on. But I have found that they love stringing beads onto pipe cleaners. And so we'll give it a try in the car. Hopefully beads don't go flying everywhere. We have this buckle band. We got it from LovEvery. I'll link the play kit down below, and they've still really enjoyed using it. So it just has all different kinds of buckles, and they can practice buckling and unbuckling. What I love about this one is there's no pieces to it. It's just one thing, and so it's really easy to have in the car, because unless they drop it, there's nothing they really need help with. It's a really great one to have for car rides. For a previous trip we went on, we had these little doodle boards where they have the little pen and can draw on it. I think the battery needs to be replaced on this one. Normally when you press the button, it like clears the screen. So I'll have to fix that. I'll put a link down below. This was another fun one. I think an older child would find this really fun too, where you have this little magnetic pen and it just moves the pieces across. It came with little pattern cards, and you can slip them in here, and so then you can build the design on the board. Now obviously we want to do as many engaging hands-on activities as possible while we are driving, but I know that there are going to be times where it's just getting really long. We've done all the activities, we've read all the books, and we just need to put on some screen time, some shows. And so we have these very small portable DVD players. They the screen can kind of rotate, which is nice, so they can't touch the buttons. And we'll just set this up in between them, kind of like on our center console in the car, and put on a show. Things that we have shown the boys really try to focus on things that are realistic in nature. So Mr. Rogers is great because it's, you know, a lot of things that are, well, everything I would say is based in reality, and then there's like a puppet portion of the show, but again, that's all still real. Children at this young age, what they absorb, they take as being real, as reality. So we want to offer them real things to absorb. And so even with our shows and movies and things like that, now we don't do it perfectly, obviously, but it is something I'm aware of when we pick shows and movies for our boys to watch. Another show that they've really enjoyed is Zaboomafoo, like the old school version of it. And this is another example of a show that has real live things. They're talking about animals, and then there's a little creative part with claymation. We will be bringing along our DVD players, some DVDs. I'm gonna go to the library and get some movies and shows and things there. I will have headphones for them as well, which I do have 2 pairs of headphones, and then I have a splitter where I can plug 2 headphones into this splitter, and then that one splitter plugs into the DVD player. So that'll be really nice to just even keep the car quiet. They could listen to the movie or the show in the headphones, and we could have a quiet car. Something we are going to bring a lot of is stickers. I went to a garage sale and got a ton of stickers for free. I'm just gonna bring a ton of them with us because it's super engaging, it's really easy, and a little mess because they stick them onto paper. So I'll just bring some notebooks along for them to do this with. and some little bags of stickers for each of them. The boys each have one of these like busy book activity books, and so it's just full of a bunch of activities or little tasks for them to complete. There's some buckles, zippers, ties. We'll probably just bring these along. I think it'll be fun if I'm sitting back there with them, that I could actually focus on like one part of the book and actually like work on that skill of buckling or zipping or snapping. They haven't had a lot of time to really work on these things because I've always been the one driving, but now that it'll be the whole family going, I can have some time to work with them on these things. And there's just a lot of things for them to do, and a lot of it is contained right in here. Some of them do have some like loose pieces, which those tend to get lost, so I might not even bring those portions along and just really focus on some of the things that are stuck into the book to keep it less messy in the car. These are kind of nice too to like bring into a restaurant if you're waiting for food, to just give your child something to do to keep them occupied and working while they're waiting for food. And one other thing that I forgot to mention, but is an obvious thing, is books. Bringing a lot of books. So I think I'm just going to bring a basket of books for the car, both for them to look at, but also for me to read to them while we are driving. So that'll be something that we bring with us. I will bring you along now as I kind of just pack all this up in a consolidated way that is easy to access. Guys, well, that is what I have for you. I hope you got some new ideas of things that you could bring along on a car road trip flight that you will be going on. If you have any other ideas, feel free to drop them down in the description box below. I'd love to have a few more options for our drive as well. As always, thank you for watching. I will see you next week for another video. Have a great day. Bye.